Black Marriage Matters community, it's Kenyatta in for your weekly Facebook Live. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. I hope that things are going well for you and that you are really finding value in this group. So, today I want to talk about one of the number one reasons why couples typically come to counseling. Usually, it's because of their conflict resolution skills or lack thereof. So, one thing I like to teach a lot of the couples that I work with is conflict is inevitable in your relationship, but a lot of times it can make or break your relationship. And if you have been in a relationship for a while, if you have been in conflict with your mate, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I work with couples every day to kind of help them improve their communication styles, grow in their intimacy, rebuild their trust. But conflict is definitely one that I like to touch on with the couples that I work with. They may come in with all sorts of problems, but for me, conflict and touching on how you and your mate fight is strictly something that all couples need support in, oftentimes, because we all have different conflict management styles. And so that's exactly what I want to talk to you guys today about is the different conflict management styles that we all have and how we all engage in conflict. So I have four different styles that I'm going to discuss today, and you let me know in the comments which one you or your mate falls up under. So ultimately, in this video, I'm going to talk about how individuals react to conflict when it arises. So first things first, I want to let you know that conflict can be good because it often encourages growth in the relationship, a deeper understanding between you and your mate, improved communication between the two of you, and then progress towards your goal. So, oftentimes couples get into conflict because they have two different mindsets or two different ideas or two different opinions about something. But you can get closer to the goal of the couple and the group through conflict. You can go deeper in your understanding of your mate by hearing their perspective and listening to them. And conflict often offers an opportunity for you to do that because with two opposing views, you get to know their values and their philosophy around things, right? And then ultimately improve communication. If it is possible in conflict, is at that point you establish some boundaries around what you will and won't say to each other. Oftentimes, when we're frustrated with someone, we say things that we don't necessarily mean, and so through the work that I have with couples, we create rules around what we should and should not say and how to use self-control to then at that point get your point across. So you know what it's like to be in a debate with someone and you have to improve your point of view. You have to really explain what it is that you mean. You may use metaphors or you may help them understand something by giving them an example. This is improved communication. Right. So I want the couples that I work with and the couples that are watching here to understand that, like I said, conflict is not the end of the world. It's ultimately inevitable, but it is something that you and your mate can improve over time. But before we do that, we have to talk about the different styles. Style number one that I'm going to discuss is avoidant, right? I think we all know this person who's conflict avoidant. They don't like conflict. They may say things like, I don't like conflict, or I don't like being involved in conflict, or I don't like to fight with people, right? This is the person that typically does not want to start fights. And when they are involved in fights or someone wants to initiate a fight with them, they may shut down. This is your partner who may walk away. They may say things like, I don't want to talk about this right now. It may be hard to really confront them about the issues in the relationship because it's something that they don't want to discuss at all. So if you are avoidant or you know someone who avoid it, put it in the comments. The second person or the second style of conflict is accommodating, right? So this person is just what the word feels like. They like to accommodate the situation. So they are more interested in the other person's interests and the other person's goals versus their own. So they may be the person that is accommodating to the conflict and it's used when they set aside their own wants and needs in order to focus on the other person. So this person may leave behind their own concerns, or they may accommodate someone else in order to end the conflict. So they may say things like, you know what, you're right, or I agree completely with what you said, or yeah, we could just do it that way. They're completely just relinquishing their own control and relinquishing their own personal interests in order to please that other person. Now, this may sound like a good thing, but typically this person may build up resentment over time. They may see themselves as a pushover. They may lack confidence. It's not necessarily the best situation for a relationship, but if you were on the receiving end of this, you may love it. Someone that's accommodating, someone that's more interested in your interests and your own goals or views versus their own, right? So that's number two, accommodating. The second one is the one that I see quite often when I'm working with those couples that continuously get into arguments and have a hard time resolving their conflicts and moving on. This is the competing style. So this means that both people are pushing ahead in their own mission and goals with no concern for the other person in the conflict at all. So if you're a competing person, you are more interested in what you have going on and what you want and your desires versus the other person. And when I find a couple where both of them have this style, conflict arises a lot. And so they ignore the needs of their partner, right? And when you have two people that are ignoring the needs of the other person, typically those relationships don't last or they're miserable. So you know what it's like to compete with someone around a conflict, right? They're not listening to you, you're not listening to them, and ultimately you guys get nowhere. So that's the competing style. And the last style that I'm going to discuss today, number four, last but the most, so not the least, but this is the one that I like to encourage couples to really embrace, is the compromising style. Hear me out. So the compromising style is more focused on achieving a reasonable middle ground, something in the middle, something where we both can be happy or we can be at least satisfied with the results. No one is walking away feeling cheated. No one is walking away feeling like they've been taken advantage of. No one is walking away feeling like they weren't heard, right? So this is just the joint decision making that I work with couples on, right? How do we get to a place of you both finding a solution that works well for you both? So with this style, neither one of the party has gotten exactly what they want, right? One person may say they want to do this, the other person may say that they want to do that. Neither one of them necessarily get that. But neither party is completely just jaded. They have something that they feel like, okay, well, I didn't get exactly what I want, but this works well for me and this works well for you, so I'm good with that. So a lot of times, like I said, I like to help couples to get to a place of feeling like they are in that compromising style of, okay, well, you get some of what you want and I get some of what I want, and we're both happy and we're able to walk away feeling like we didn't have to necessarily win. I didn't win, you didn't win, but we both did. So it's more of that joint way of thinking about conflict, and it's more of that joint way of really operating in the relationship. So, guys, I'm just going to do a quick review of the four conflict style that we discussed here. So, avoidant, accommodating, competing, and then compromising, right? So, put in the comments which ones you think that you are, or that your mate may be, or where you guys may be in your conflict style and how you guys are able to resolve at this point, or if conflict is truly breaking your relationship. So I want to give you guys some support before I go. If you are ready to break the cycle of constant arguments and learn the tools that you need in order to divorce proof your marriage or ensure that your long-term relationship remains healthy, we are having a webinar coming up on the 25th of May at 7 p.m. where I'm going to be providing you with 5 communication styles that are going to be useful for those couples that are finding themselves fighting about the kids, fighting about the laundry, fighting about household chores, fighting about their finances, whatever it is that you are fighting about and you're finding that you can't find a solution, come to this webinar to get some more tools about how you can be a better communicator and ultimately how you can teach your mate how to do the same. My suggestion is that both of you come so that you can get something from it. But if only one of you comes to the webinar, it's going to be fine because at that point you get the tools, and then from there you can pass them on to your mate if they're willing to learn. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know in the comments. And if you found this video useful, let us know. Also, whatever conflict management style that you find that you have, I would love to know what one you identify with. And if you didn't identify with any of them, let me know. I'll do another video on the other ones as well. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.